This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
I guess I got a voice back. Yes, we are ready to rock.
Sounds
we are
like
ready to roll.
Sounds like a guy with no laryngitis.
Well, I still got a little bit of laryngitis. It's still lingering in the back, but we're a little closer to normal than we have been the last week and a half. That's why last week I could not come here to Onside to VSS West Pines. I could only squeeze in an Onside show because it was just one of those things, man. It was tough. But hey, listen, we've been through tougher things. Although the first week when you start a radio station, you'd like not to have laryngitis. That would kind of be like something that would help you out when you start a radio station. And thank you to all out there for following us on Onside Radio, onsideradio.com, at Onside Radio on Twitter. The only thing we have right now up is a listen live line there. The site is pretty close to coming up, and it's going to look fantastic. So we're looking forward to it here in our second week. But great lineup, and really excited to actually create an all-sports station in South Florida, but it'll be digital. And, we'll end up becoming pioneers when it's all said and done, because normally it's traditional radio signals that are your sports stations, but 560 is down to 4 hours live, 790 is down to 11 hours, and they're going to cut more. I mean, the intercom stock was like $16 in 2017. It's $1.50 right now. So listen, they're headed downhill. They're going to eliminate more, so it opens up the door for all of us to add more to all of this. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So I encourage all of you out there to follow us at Onside Radio on Twitter and onsideradio.com. Good stuff there. We got 2 a week. Yeah. It's 2 a week. I love it. So now we await the start of the young man on Sunday. I'm looking forward to it, man. This is something that I've talked about before. The reason they're making this move, it's because that kid must be kicking some serious ass behind the scenes. And the coach is like, he's a better quarterback than Fitz right now. I know he doesn't have the experience and he hasn't seen everything like Fitz, but he's got to learn. And he'll learn that along the way. But right now, they must feel he's the better talent. And Flores doesn't play you if he doesn't think you're going to win. And I was talking about this. Let me give you an example of something. I want you to go back and look at the play when he rolls to the left and completes the pass to Patrick Laird. I want you to go back to that replay, and I want you to look at it, because there was another wide receiver that was open. I believe it was Preston Williams, number 18, I think it is. And he's standing there, and he's at the line of scrimmage. So in the middle of the panic that you're rolling to the left and you're being pressured right away, he decides to not go to the safer route. He takes a chance and goes a little deeper, only a couple yards more, into the sideline, which again becomes the pass a little harder because it's got to go a little farther. But yet it was away from defenders and all that. There was no chance for it to be intercepted. But even then, he was computing, which one do I go to? Let me go to the other guy, because he's going to gain me 3 yards and he's going to go out of bounds and stop the clock. So it shows you the moxie that kid has, that even in that moment, the panicking young QB would normally take the first wide receiver he sees open. Oh, I don't want to get a sack. Let me get rid of it quickly. This kid was calm, cool, and collected. I said, I'll go with Laird instead. And that's why, to me, this is a kid that obviously must be ready for this moment. Okay? and it's the most anticipated Dolphin game in 20 years now. Why? Because you never really thought A.J. Feely was going to be the franchise guy. You never really thought Tannehill would be the franchise guy. You never really thought Gus Frerotte was going to be the franchise guy, or Pat White, or whoever, or Fitzpatrick. This is the one time in 20 years that you feel a legitimate shot at finally replacing Marino. That's why Sunday is so important, okay? I mean, this is a fun week, man. Wednesday, we got Inter Miami taking on FC Dallas on the road. They got to win so they can stay in the playoff bracket. Friday, we got The Mandalorian, Season 2. I mean, are you kidding me? And Sunday, we got Tua. I mean, this is an amazing freaking week, bro. All you need now is to get a little CBD or THC right here at VSS West Pines, and you'll be fine. You'll be ready for the week. That's all you got to do. Come on out and see my friends at 12397 Pembroke Road. They're ready to help you out, man. So come on by. They'll take care of you, I promise you. Kick back, relax. A little Bears and Rams tonight. This is a really good week. I mean, think about it, man. I mean, big week with Inter, with The Mandalorian, and with Tua. This is as sweet as it gets. All I need now is a concert.
Oh, man.
You know,
you hit a nerve there, bro.
You know when this craziness is over, you remember how people would always walk up to, dude, you're always at a concert. I'm going to make me at a concert look ridiculous the next time we get back to normal again. I don't think I'll miss another concert again for the rest of my life.
So you're seeing bands you don't even like.
Hey, yeah, I'm going to go see everybody and anybody that I can go see. I'm going to go to every live show ever because I'm just going to appreciate it even. I used to appreciate just the artist. People used to, well, dude, you already saw AC/DC. Why are you going to go see it again? Right? They don't realize, new tour, new songs. Maybe they play old songs you haven't heard. They'll whip out something from the past. And people don't realize those kind of things. One performance sometimes stands out more over the other. All those, I would always appreciate the bands and the artists because I don't know when it's the last time I can see them. Now I got to go see bands because I don't know when it's the last time I'm going to be, I won't be allowed to go to concerts at all. It's crazy. That's all I need this week to, cap off the week, a concert. Not that it's going to happen, but this is a great week here, man.
We're kind of headed in the wrong direction
yes.
statistically, bro.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, I mean, the guy running for president or re-election thinks it's over already. It's like we've turned the corner. It's like, what are you watching? And anyway, so it is what it is, but this is a really, really cool week here in South Florida. A lot of great things, which is actually awesome. Not all that to me is pretty cool. How many cities can say, their team's 3-3 in football. They got a chance to go 4-3. They got a new quarterback that could be the future. You got the Mandalorian starting now. You got Inter fighting for a playoff spot. This is a really fun week here in South Florida, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So got a bunch of things to talk about, of course. If you want to get in on the text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program, on the text line. If you're listening to the downloads live here, you want to send in on the YouTube chat board, on the Super Chat. Always appreciated immensely. Thank you so much. Speaking of that Inter game, let's talk a little bit about that. That was super exciting on Saturday, man. It was a lot of fun because they allowed 2,500 fans in, plus the supporters groups were there, so that's about another 500 or something. So around 3,000 people were at the stadium on Saturday. Everybody social distancing except for the supporters. But anyway, overall, it was a great moment because I got to tell you, as a guy that has worked with all the local soccer teams over the years, these kind of moments were ruined every time with a loss or a bad performance or something. You'd bring a crowd in, And I know that this wasn't the normal crowd, the 19,000 that we would expect at the stadium every week, but it was cool to see that they had a great performance on a day where you did have fans and you did have supporters and you had a chance to stay in to get into the playoff race, and you did it. And this goes so far, to the fan base and to the people that maybe were teetering on going or not going, or getting on the bandwagon or not getting on the bandwagon, or learning soccer, or trying to even give a crap about Inter, all of those things. When you have these kind of moments, it allows you to bridge that gap. And it was really, really cool that fans were able to see a moment like this, supporters who have been I can't say enough about, the Siege and Vice City and Southern Legion. Their passion is second to none for this team. They're there all throughout the year, standing on the outside of the stadium during the games. So it was really cool on Saturday that the atmosphere was there, even though it wasn't a packed house, but the atmosphere was there, and the players matched it with a great performance. It didn't start off as well, but they got better as the first half ended. They were aggressive as hell. They were able to force in that goal. And then the second time around, obviously Gonzalo Leandro Pires scored in the 89th minute, and the rest is history. It was just a great, great moment for Inter Miami fans. And now we get an opportunity to build on Wednesday. You think about it. It's your expansion year. You had a pandemic. You started 0-5. I mean, there was you added, your star players late in the season. There's a lot of reasons for you not to even be in the playoff race, and yet they're in the playoff race. Now they're in the playoff bracket. If they somehow are able to get into the playoffs with these 3 games left, it would be one hell of an accomplishment in your expansion year, okay? It really would, and just a fantastic Saturday night, man. I just loved every second of it, and it was so cool to see Miami and beat Orlando, too, a rival. And the other thing is you lost one in the bubble and you lost one at Orlando. You won both here at home. Okay, that's really important because for the future, and Orlando's a pretty good team right now.
Runner-up in the bubble tournament.
Yeah, and now they know, wow, dude, we don't have a lot of luck when we go to Miami. So that's really important that you've kind of sent the message yeah, you guys are having a really, really good season, but we're going to take care of business when you come here to Miami. So it's nice to see that went on against a rival in Orlando, man. I really like what I saw in that one. That was actually really, really cool.
I'm surprised you walked away with the voice after the Saturday night game.
Yeah.
I figured, he's going to be in trouble for a couple more days.
I wasn't calling
Miami.
I wasn't calling it, so maybe if I'm calling it, it might be a different ball game. But when you're doing the pre and the post,
no, but you're able to be a fan though.
Yes.
How many times did you have to leave the area?
We watched it from the stands.
Oh, okay? So there was no need to have to.
No.
Walk.
No.
Oh, you still did it?
Oh yeah.
You did, and it worked.
I told the story already. It worked twice.
It works. What?
Yes. So Dono and I, we do the pregame, and then instead of watching in the box, we said, "Hey, let's go into the stands and let's feel the atmosphere from fans and all that." And so we sat there, and about the 35-minute mark, about 37-minute mark, I go, "Hey, let's go upstairs. Let's get ready for the pregame." And so we go up, and as he's going into the studio where the guys are calling the game, I go, "You know what? I'm going to stay out here. I'm going to go to the bathroom a second and see if anything happens." So I go, and as I'm walking into the bathroom, the building explodes. Okay? That was the ricochet shot off Matuidi, that it was an own goal, and the score, there's the goal, tied at 1, place is going crazy. I actually went in, I did my business, number 1, then washed my hands, walked out, walked into the studio, getting ready for halftime. Glorious halftime, because I'm there yeah, I was there. It was me. I scored the goal. Forget about the rebound. It was me. So we're done with halftime. So Donald and I go back down again to watch it. Atmosphere, all that good stuff. Again, about the 80th minute, 84th minute. No, about 84th minute. I think it was right. 80th minute we took off. We got there about the 84th minute because we actually had to wait for the elevator, whatever. So Donald walks in, and I go, you know what? I don't really have to go badly to the bathroom, but I'm going to go to the bathroom for the hell of it. Sure enough, I'm walking into the bathroom. Building explodes again. And I'm like, whoa. And I didn't do number one. I just walked right back out of the bathroom again. I just did the walk to the bathroom. They scored again. I walked back in. Everybody's celebrating, screaming. They're hugging Chris Whittingham. Whittingham's trying to make the call. Thomas Rongen, the legend, the coach, is on top of him, hugging him. Fernando Fiore's hugging both those guys. And Whitty's trying to make the call of the game and all that. And these guys are going crazy. So, it's all me, bro. You know how many times I've done that this year? 4 times. 4 goals. Okay? Twice in one game.
The player for Orlando that got the own goal, he's happy to hear that it's not his fault, it's your fault.
That's it.
He says he's off the hook.
Yeah, well, he's lucky he doesn't live in Colombia. Anyway, so Escobar, they killed him. Own goal, Olympics. Okay, just you might be too young, and you may not know what the hell that joke was about, and you have no idea. But yeah, that's how it went, man. That's how it went. Yep. Because it didn't look good in the 12th minute when Daryl DK scored. That kid's a wall, dude. Wow. That kid, it's amazing. He's the rookie of the year, 5th pick in the draft, and he's built like a freaking wall. Guys just bounce off the dude. Impressive. I got to tell you. Good stuff by Inter. Great win by them. I love it. Julius 305 says, is it Sunday already? Dougie Fresh was first on the chat board there. Captain Swole TV says Tom Brady is the Patriots way. I told you that the Patriots would struggle to be 500 this year. Did I not say that? Have I not said that for months now? Right? Because all these tools, right? Oh, no. Belichick's the genius. And remember Matt Castle and all that. And I broke it down for you. And I told you, do you remember the team around Matt Castle? Okay, that team is not there right now. And the quarterback, like I said, Cam Newton has never been a good quarterback. And that's why Ron Rivera is a really good coach, because he made sure that when he had receivers around Cam, they were big, they were long receivers. The only guy that wasn't big and long was Steve Smith Sr., but he had range. Steve Smith was a guy that was super athletic and physical, so when you were, off target and he's up in the air catching the ball, it looks like a great pass, but it really wasn't a great pass. It's just Funchess or whoever else that they had, long receivers making plays for him. That's all it was. He was never, and so he goes to New England to play with short receivers where you've got to be pinpoint accurate. That's not who he is. Never has been. Not surprised that Cam Newton is struggling. Not surprised that the Patriots are 2-4. And I told you also that the Dolphins will beat the Patriots the second go around like they did last year. Adjustments, that's all. Anthony Manzano says, Orlando, should the Dolphins make a trade to improve our secondary and solidify to be more dominant like Baltimore is doing with their pass rush? Who you want to trade for, bro? Who's available? I mean, if you're going to play fantasy football, Anthony, if you're going to ask the question, who's available? You know what I mean? And at this point, you got to find out about Tua first before you even think that you're making some kind of a playoff run. I love the kid, but we got to find out too. You know what I mean? Uber Beaner is just saying Tua. Troy says, do you think Fitz thought in his mind if he played well, he was going to start the entire season? His reaction was disappointing. No, his reaction is what a competitor does, my man. I have no problem with that. I'm good with his reaction. He's a pro. He'll compartmentalize, and he will act professional, and he will support Tua the way he's supposed to support Tua. So don't worry about Fitz losing his stuff or losing it for the team or not being a pro and not supporting his teammates. That's not how that dude is wired. Okay? That dude is a pure professional. Give him the consideration that he deserves. Okay? That guy will be an asset to Tua the rest of the season. I'm glad he was disappointed. That keeps him hungry, and if Tua has any setbacks, he'll get back in there and he'll play his ass off like he normally did. But to the first half of your question, Troy, I think he thought he was going to be the starter for a long time as long as they were playing well this year. Yes. Julia says, is it Sunday already? Orlando, what happened to Gonzalo Higuain? Why didn't he play? Is he injured or did he test positive for COVID? Anthony, my brother, it's 2 in a row. You're asking for a trade and you have no substance behind it. And you're obviously not a real fan because anybody that knows that Gonzalo Higuain got a red card at the end of the game last week, and that's why he did not play on Saturday. He was red carded. He was out. You got to keep up, my man. Obviously, you didn't listen to the show all week, too, because we talked about it also on the show.
Just a little throw on the trade thing. The trade deadline is 2 days after the Sunday game on November 3rd.
Yeah, Miami is not in the position to be giving away picks.
We don't have enough. We don't have a clear enough picture of where we're at.
Nothing.
To jump in.
Yeah.
You know,
we got tons of picks. Let's
plus you know
let's
what?
Draft the picks, bro.
Like you've talked about in the past, if we grab a guy, it's going to keep one of the young guys from us seeing him develop.
Yeah.
So just stay the course where we're at.
Yep. Big O got it on lock. Thank you, Ian from Brooklyn. Appreciate you. Tim Suppley says, don't forget to watch next week's opponent tonight. Play Chi-Town. That's right. That's right. I'm taking the Bears +6, by the way, tonight. That's a pick of mine for this week in the NFL.
Hoping the Bears could give the Dolphins a blueprint of what to do to them next Sunday. And I was looking at their record.
I don't know about that. You know, we don't have the same talent on defense.
Well, just to get,
There's
what
like
I'm saying.
some guy named Khalil Mack.
What do they like to do?
Like,
you know what I'm saying, though. Get a feel of what to do.
But if you want to find another Khalil Mack, he's like floating in space somewhere, and he's probably on a jet right now or some kind of spaceship, because his planet is exploded. So he's going to land here soon in Smallville, and, then he'll have an S on his chest.
No impressive wins for the Rams, bro. You know what they've done?
I know.
They've been the NFC East or the NFC least.
I keep telling people Miami's got a great shot at winning next week. It's just whatever, bro. If people want to get on the negative thing with Miami, go ahead, knock yourself out. I know my Dolphins are finally, after 20 years, they are headed in the right direction. Tommy in Hialeah says, would be cool to watch if Tua throw his first TD on November 1st to number 11 would be crazy. I got you. Okay. All right. That is interesting. Yeah. Number 1 on November 1st throws his first touchdown to Devontae Parker, number 11. I like it. And the first win of his career. Also. That would be good, too. Let's see. Hi, guys. Can't wait for Tua time, says Raging Dolphin Maniac. I'm with you. Julius 305 says, Bill with Bears jersey. Yes, he is. He is. He's got his Bears jersey on. It was a tough decision. It was between the Marshall Faulk Rams jersey and the Bears jersey. But, he went with Bears today because he figured.
Days of the show, I wear the jersey, the Heat, the Dolphins, the whatever. Dude, I'm 5-1. The
Rams,
only loss,
Yankees,
the
Indians,
only loss is the Canes,
Maple Leafs,
the Canes to Clemson. That's the only loss.
Rangers.
So I had to bust out the Walter Payton.
Dougie Fresh says, I've never been first at anything until today. Well, there was that time my coworker Heather at Whataburger, she had a cool mohawk and warm Magic Zone. I found out later I was actually 7th. Dougie Fresh, you're awesome. Michael Mata says, one more win. Let's go, Dodgers. There you go. The best game was Saturday night, right? The walk-off and all that with the Rays coming back. You saw
the running into the catcher and the ball coming out. Yeah.
Yet Saturday Night Live outdrew the World Series. Nobody cares about baseball anymore, bro. Nobody cares about baseball. Okay? I hear my boy Andy Slater all the time. That's all he does is kill his show with baseball talk. Like, I don't mind talking a little baseball, and I'll squeeze it in there, but you can't have your show drive by baseball because it's dying, bro. Saturday Night Live outdrew baseball.
And I don't even know.
And it was the best game of the series.
Who was on Saturday Night Live? The
no.
The first two I knew.
Adele was on.
Ah.
And by the way, Adele looked fine as hell. Adele looking fine as hell. Okay? I don't know if you saw it on Saturday, but boy, that divorce, once you get a divorce, you got to shed the weight so you can go get your next catch. And that woman shed the weight, and she looks phenomenal. Damn. And her sounded good, too. I saw her perform there on Saturday. It was an all right episode. But the funny part is it outdrew the World Series, bro. It's crazy. It's unheard of, man. You got like 6-7 million people watching the World Series now. In 1984, it was 35 million. Look where it's at now, bro.
That's a mad dude. That's only 20% of what you used to draw.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How in the hell are they getting the contracts that they are?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
That's why
the money is about to dry up.
I've been talking about that the money's going to be drying up soon because you're not getting any ratings. So why are they giving away all that money? And eventually baseball's going to go the other way. It's a shame. Samuel Robina says, oh, by the way, Michael Mata sent in a super chat. Thank you, Michael. Strong by you, Michael Mata. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. One more win. Let's go, Dodgers. Big O, the 2020 draft could be Miami's best draft ever. Do you agree? Not if he beats it with 2021. No, I mean, if you land Tua, bro, it just makes everything. I know the offensive line and all the other picks and all that, but I just like that. I keep telling people we have a front office. But that's fine. Again, you laugh at me, call me a loser, crazy, loco, whatever you want. I know where my Dolphins are headed. You know, you're like showing like just my forehead now by some corner. I know you're focusing in on the terrific glass pipes that they have here because they have a great selection of glass pipes here. But at the moment, I can see a white rhino back there and everything. But at the moment, we're here.
I'll get to see how fast the delay is. There we go.
There we go.
You're back in focus.
What up, Big O? How about the Titans losing? Tannehill needs a perfect storm to win. He will always show his colors when Henry struggles. And he's just not the guy. Now, when he throws like an 8-yard to A.J. Brown and A.J. takes off for 73 yards, it's just – I look at it and I go, the kid is just – he's so blessed, bro. Francisco Verdugo says – one of the differences between Cam Newton and Russell Wilson, Newton, when everything is fine, it's all about him. When it goes south, he doesn't care. Russell, after interception, goes to the bench, and it's to the iPad. Francisco, let's do the real comparison. Okay, are you ready? Russell Wilson, real QB. Cam Newton, never been a QB, always an athlete. Trying to play QB. That's it. And he's going to do things at times because that's what athletes do. But is he a real quarterback? He's never been a real quarterback.
Tannehill had some nice throws, some nice play, but then there was ones that, dude,
right.
Where are you throwing, man?
Right.
Like the consistency is not there.
Right. Good afternoon, everybody. Just finishing the betrayal of 1877, the election between Hayes and Tilden. Troy Ortiz says, half the teams in the NFL this year are garbage. Only about 7-8 really good teams. Welcome to the NFL. That they've been playing mediocre football for several years now.
NFL wants parity, man, and all parity is mediocrity.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. It's been going on for several years now. The NFL is king in this country, but really, if you look at the product, it's been very mediocre the last couple of years. It's really not good football overall. It's a lot of bad football being played in the NFL, but we're so crazed about it that we kind of overlook it, but it's really not high quality, a high quality sport anymore.
There will be a new bottom met, obviously, with the NFC East.
Yes.
At least somebody's going to be 5-11 and 6-10 and have the worst record ever to appear in a playoff game.
That's right. Willie Molina says, Medellin in the house. Thank you out there in Colombia.
Stay safe, man.
That's right. Don't kill your judges. Call of Duty, besides a win, what would be a successful start be? The stats matter. I just play smart, man. I just want Tua to play a smart game, a game under control. I don't want to see him flustered. I don't want to see him throwing the ball away in interceptions. I don't want to see panic plays. If the kid loses, it's because they got outplayed. But I don't want it because they lost because he threw 2 interceptions, and one of them was a pick six, and he took a bunch of bad sacks and things like that. That's what I don't want. I just want him to play well, and the rest will fall in place. Okay? If he loses and he plays well, I can deal with that. If he plays well and they win, I'm going to absolutely love it. I'm with you.
I think the kid's going to do well, man. You think back when he showed up in that national championship game and bailed them out and won that game as a freshman or sophomore, whatever he was, bro, the kid's got ice in his veins. I think he's going to do well, man.
Jean-Luc says, the funny part was the fortune teller sketch about 2020. Yeah. That woman is so awesome. What's her name that she, God, she's so funny, man. She's probably my favorite character right now on SNL. Oh, man, I forgot her name. She plays Palin. She plays, what's the crazy lawyer that represents Trump? The New York guy, the mayor.
Giuliani.
Giuliani. She plays Giuliani. What's her name now? Damn it. I know her name, and now I'm brain farting at this moment, but she's so awesome, dude. That was a good skit. I can't say it was a great SNL. There were only a couple things that were pretty good. I thought the girl, Cicely, that role she played on the newscast, that I didn't think that was very good. But it was it had some moments. Adele looks like a different woman. Smash City. She does. She looks great, man. Good for her, man. Afternoon, everybody. Bills are looking like the Bills. Pats are struggling, and Gase can't even get 50 yards from his offense. Let's go, Finns. I think I was told that they gained 4 yards in the fourth quarter or something like that. It's amazing. What's wrong with Adele packing on a few pounds? Thought you like girls with some meat on their... I have no problem with full-size women. None at all with shape. I have no problem with that. I'm just giving her credit that she lost weight, and she looks really good, bro. She looks smoking hot. Just saying.
You touched on it for a minute. Was it not weird seeing the Jets-Buffalo score and being happy that the Jets were winning? Wasn't that a little bizarre?
Who? I know, but she looked good. Like, she looked really good.
She's a big bone girl.
Yeah, she's a big bone girl. But she's always been good looking. She's one of those good looking women that are thick. It's like the woman from 227. I forgot her name, Jackie. Come on, bro. You know Jackie had a little extra pounds on her, but you're not chasing her away from bed. Yeah, you know, you're like, oh, that's a sexy full size woman right there. What's the name of that? There's that model that she's a plus size girl too.
Is it the Brock girl? Is that who you're talking about?
Not Brock. Abraham maybe or something. She's got brown hair. Yeah, she's fine as hell, dude. Fine as hell. And she's got a couple extra pounds. I got I got no problem with thicker women. As my only law about thick women is that you still have to have the curves. That's what it is. There's got to be, you got to have the hourglass figure to you, even though you're a big girl. Okay? That's kind of my requirement. That's all. That's it. I still find women that are thick attractive that way. Kate McKinnon. Kate McKinnon, right? I think that's her name. Kate McKinnon. Not the plus size model, the comedian. I think it. I bet you. Look, there it is, Kate McKinnon. So I knew one of you would do it. Not Tina Fey, Kate McKinnon. There you go.
Well, Tina Fey originally paid Palin. That's why people were thinking Tina.
Yeah, exactly.
She looks. I mean, Tina looks a little bit like her.
Right? Yeah. Agree, Big O. Play smart. No or few turnovers. Clock management. That's the way Tua needs to play. I think he will. You know? Rosenda goes, God was a freaking genius when he invented women. Ashley Graham. There you go. Nice job by you, Jean-Luc. That's it. Ashley Graham. Ashley Graham is fine as hell. Okay? Fine as hell. And she's a big girl. I think I think women can be sexy and they don't have to be perfectly shaped. You know what I mean? If a woman knows how to carry herself, she can make herself look sexier than maybe she even is. You know? It's a gift that they have that guys don't have, probably. You know? If we're ugly, we're just dead in the water. We're just done. You know, it is what it is. But women, you know, there are women in this world that, to me, in my eyes, they aren't necessarily good looking, but they're smoking hot. It's weird. It's weird like that. There are women that I find incredibly attractive, yet they're not beautiful at all. But the way they carry themselves, the way they look, not necessarily their face, just the way they carry themselves, you know, it just, you know, they look smoking hot. I'm trying to think of one that's like that is not necessarily pretty, but she's smoking hot. Because I know there's a few. I'm trying to think of some. I give you one. If you ever watch Flash Gordon, the one that's bad, that's Ming's daughter, she's not really that good looking. But she has a sexiness to her. You know what I'm saying?
It's the exotic.
It's the exotic look, exactly. Yeah. I think women have that thing that they don't have to be beautiful, but they can look exotic, and then that kind of puts them over the top. You know? There are those. I know there's several women like that, and I don't know why I'm brain farting right now to think of a couple.
Amelia Muti.
That's her name?
That's her name.
Oh, okay.
Amelia Muti.
I wouldn't know. Okay.
She was in.
That's the only thing I ever saw her in.
She's in something else.
I don't remember her in anything, dude. I only remember her there. That's it. You know? So I got no problem with the thick women. But, I mean, when Adele loses the weight, you got to give the woman props, dude. She looks good, man.
Well, she's back there in circulation, man. You know,
right?
You want to bring her A game.
Divorce, bro. Divorce brings it out. So now the next guy that's in line is getting much better prime meat than the guy that was there before.
She was in the major hit Oscar with Sylvester Stallone.
The major hit?
Dude, I'm being sarcastic.
What's it called?
Oscar.
Oscar.
From 1991.
I don't even remember that movie, dude, for Stallone. Oscar? Wow.
Like I said, it was a major hit.
Nothing sexier than when it looks like two hams in a Walmart bag. Flipside Fishing goes, haha, Flash Gordon, you're going way back. Great example. There's more examples of women like that. I'm just kind of I'll give you another one. I don't believe Olivia Munn is like beautiful, but she's like smoking hot sexy.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, you know what? Lady Gaga is a sexy woman. You're right. And she's not great looking. She has she has some sexiness.
You know what?
She got a great body.
The chick that played Fatima Blush.
Oh, Fatima Blush.
Yes.
And Never Say Never
Again. Sean's last.
Sean Connery.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the movie that's 007, but it's not 007 because it's not part of the 007 family.
Officially.
But
it is.
Oh, well, those of us that are Bond fans, we include it in there because, Fatima Blush. You must have.
Kim Basinger, brother.
No, but she's pretty.
Woo!
But she's
no,
pretty.
well, she's the one in the movie.
Yes. Oh, yes, she is.
She is the number one Bond girl in the movie.
She is the Bond girl in that movie. Yeah, and Fatima Blush is kind of a sexy woman too.
But I've seen other pictures of her. She, like you said, she's not.
No.
But there's this exoticness.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And like you said, the way she carries herself, the way her mannerism.
Right.
It just exudes.
Exactly. That's it. So there are some. I know there's a couple more that I've always labeled like that. Like, hey, she's not as good looking, but man, she's smoking. I mean, it'll come to me. Hate to change the subject from thick women, but at close to the halfway point of the season, who do you see as the top 4 teams now and long term? Are you talking about the NFL? Top 4 teams now and long term? Well, I mean, you got to go Kansas City, number 1, because they ended up signing all the key pieces this offseason. So that kind of set them up already to have a little success in the future.
Le'Veon Bell was a nice ad, too.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Yes. That definitely helps out. But, I mean, their guy's injured. They'll get him back next year anyway. So they'll be loaded again. 4 best teams now. Well, you got to go Pittsburgh. You got to go KC. I'm going to go Tampa and Tennessee and Seattle. And for the future, I'll go Kansas City. I'll go Seattle. And that's about it because I don't see Tennessee long-term succeeding the way they're going. I think they'll have some success because of the way the team is built, but I don't know about in the end. You're going to need elite quarterback play as you get deeper into the playoffs, and you're not really going to get that from Tannehill. You can get occasional play from him, and he'll make a couple plays for you because he's an athlete, but in the end, I think he'll fall short. So I will go. And Pittsburgh, I can't call future because Ben is 800 years old, bro. And they're doing a great job right now. But I would have to go Kansas City. And Tampa has, Tom Brady for a year or two. And then what do you have after that? I got to go Seattle along with Kansas City. And you know what? Baltimore, too. I got to throw them in there. They're 5-1. I'll go Baltimore. Even though Lamar, I don't think long-term, the way he plays, he'll end up injured unless he becomes a passer, which I don't expect him to. But at least for now, as long as he's still healthy until he gets injured, Baltimore's another one that their style of play will keep them in games. And they will be very, very, they'll be a very difficult out.
You know who's fun to watch, man?
Who's that?
Because we got a chance to see him the last 2 weeks. The Cardinals, bro. They're fun to watch, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They got something going on there. And the kid, Isaiah Simmons, finally
he got the interception
making a
yesterday.
play, bro. God, that kid, dude. He's just
it was a huge play, dude. Enormous. Troy Ortiz says, is there anything a beautiful woman could do to turn you off, such as having bad breath? Oh, no, I'm out if it's bad breath. I don't care if it's Halle Berry, bro.
How about some hairy armpits?
I'll shave them.
You just fix it, right?
Yeah, no, because if she's got that issue with bad breath that you can't fix, And no, yeah, I can't do that. I can't do the bad breath, bro. Yeah, that's the only thing that would scare me away from any woman is bad breath.
Just have the spray of Banaka ready, man, constantly, every time she opens her mouth.
Oh, yeah, but you got to then kiss that. That's the problem.
Just
You know what
load
I'm
it up
saying?
with Banaka, bro.
And then I'm like, yeah, I don't even want
The
to.
residual of the bad smell will be lingering in your mouth.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
I just don't even want to elaborate on all the other things that are going through my mind right now. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm not going to do that right now.
Oh,
Okay,
dude.
but I got to tell you, bad breath is the killer right there. Yeah, bad breath and flat ass. I'm sorry, I'm Latin, bro. What can I tell you? I see a flat ass and I'm like, yo, I'm out. I'm done. I'm history. I'm in the archives. Okay? I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it because I feel like I would have let down the entire Hispanic race if I, you know.
You're gonna have your Latin card pulled from you, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's impossible. It's impossible. I hate the stereotype, but I would tell you that most Latin dudes and the brothers, there's one right there. There we go. We got one that's verifying it. I hate the stereotype because it's not fun. It's not fair to stereotype at times. But I can stereotype that most Latins and most brothers, they require the bootay. They require it. It's just, you know.
Antoine totally concurs with you, bro.
I figured that.
Totally.
Okay.
Hey, growing up in Hialeah, yeah, I got a little Latin in me.
You gotta,
concur.
you know, it's just, but bad.
Gotta have curves, bro.
I don't know how you overcome bad breath. You know. You're driving in the car. She's stinking up the whole car.
O reaches in and his eyelashes melt off his face because of her breath.
I can't do that. I can't do that. Can't do it. Bad breath. And that could happen to anybody. I know that there's a condition, that there's something called that people have, like that consistent bad breath.
Yeah, they can't help it. I mean,
I know they can't help it. It sucks.
Yeah.
But personally for me, that's probably a trait that I cannot overcome. I won't be able to. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna guess body odor falls like in the same area.
Yeah, body odor's not good, bro. You know, body odor's not good because you got to think about it. If she's got regular body odor, then when you start, you know,
it's only gonna
exploring. When you start exploring in places that are closed, yeah, no, that's
it ain't gonna improve. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Just there's just requirements. You know what I mean? Everybody. I mean, who doesn't? We all have requirements, bro. Please give me a break. Some women won't go out with short men. Some women won't go out with bald men. So I'm sure plenty of you out there, women, won't go out with guys with bad breath. You know what I mean? Maybe you won't go out with a guy that's got teeth that look like, you know, a screwed up shark or something. There's lots of little things that might get cheap, right? There's no way women like to be with a man that's cheap, right? I mean, that's like that's got to be really bad for a woman.
And don't bring a coupon on a date.
And it's not like the woman wants you to spend money on her or anything, but it's just embarrassing. It's not a thing that she wants to be a gold digger or anything, but if you're cheap, dude, you're going to turn off a lot of women. There's a lot of women that are going to, I'm not asking him to buy me lobster every time we go out, but what's this coupon thing? And you're taking me to Whataburger for Friday night? Like, whoa, what's up with this? You know, that kind of stuff. Or how about the guy that makes the woman pay half? How about that one? You know what I mean? So we all have requirements. Let's not kid ourselves. There are things that there are certain check boxes that you must mark. And the ones that you don't, you're like, yo, I'm done. And I'm sure there are women out there that will not go out with a guy, you know, that has bad breath or is cheap or sometimes short. Because I've heard that from plenty of women. A guy that's their height or shorter, forget about it. You're done. Most women are not comfortable with that. You know? Look, Rosendo says no tattoo women. I don't mind tattoos as long as they're not on the face or, you know, she doesn't have like a drop or something from her eye, you know, because then she like killed somebody. You know, whatever. You know, it's something like that.
Got y'all hanging out in the hood.
I don't mind
looking
it.
for a good.
Sometimes I think there are a couple tats that could be sexy, actually. So that's where I don't mind. Now, if she's like completely covered in tats, that's not going to be something I'm attractive to. But I don't mind tats. That doesn't bother me. You can't turn off the nose. You can close your eyes. So odor is a deal breaker. I'm with you, NorCal. Odor is a deal breaker. I mean, you got to shower, bro. You know? So
yeah, it's a problem if you're moving in and your eyes start watering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just,
Yep.
no.
Yeah, Herman goes, I hate drops too. Yeah. You don't want any women that have eye drops. Yeah, no, that's not. Because that's not the one you want to argue with that you're not taking out the trash. Because you'll end up in the trash and in pieces. So, yeah, no, you can't do that. I'm with you. I'm definitely not a tats guy. I dated a woman once that had 3 nipples. 3 nipples. Tessie. 3 nipple Tessie.
Need 3 hands. 2 mouths.
Now, wait a minute. Okay, did she have 3 nipples and did she have 3 breastises? See, that's the key there. Okay? If she had, 3 nipples and 3 breasts, now we're talking. That's impressive. But if she has just a pair of breasts and then there's like a nipple hanging out somewhere next to her stomach, I don't know, man. You might want to have that surgically removed.
So if it's going to get a nipple, you want a breast attached to it.
Obviously. Yeah. I need
so you're, what was it, Good Luck Chuck?
Was it Good Luck Chuck? Or
where,
was
yeah,
it, I thought it was the Terminator movie. Where the woman had the 3 breasts.
Yes,
was it the Terminator?
Yeah, but didn't you see Good Luck Chuck, the buddy that does the sex augmentations?
Yes.
It's his dream girl because she has 3
But
breasts.
am I right? Was it Terminator where the woman had 3 breasts? It was?
Total Recall.
Total Recall. There you go. Total Recall. See, that's the key, Tremolio. If she had the 3rd nipple with the breast, now you're having a lot of fun.
You're all in.
Yeah, dude. Are you kidding me?
More bags of fun.
Yes. Okay. That's awesome. That's fantastic. What about ugly feet, Big O? Is it a turnoff? Well, I mean, if the feet are like deformed, yeah, it's a turnoff. Like if your pinky toe on your foot looks like your, fat toe, then yeah, it's kind of screwed up. You know what I'm saying? I'll just have her, keep on shoes the entire time.
And when you get home and she's undressing, have her keep socks on.
You know what? If she has bad feet, I'll just say, sweetheart, keep the stilettos on. Okay? And there you go. You hide everything. You got the stilettos going. Nothing hotter than some stilettos. You know what I'm saying?
Is she walking on your back with those stilettos now?
Yep. Julius305 says, I'm bookmarking this segment for sure. We all have standards. We all have requirements. Okay? Men, women, it doesn't matter. You have some kind of requirement. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be bad breath, could be cheapness, could be baldness, could be whatever. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you won't go out with a woman with a mohawk. Would you go out with a woman with a mohawk?
I'm thinking of the girl from Bow Wow Wow that haircut she had.
Who doesn't want her candy?
I want her candy.
Of course, who doesn't want her candy? Everybody wants her candy.
And it's Halloween. She should be giving it out.
Yeah. And at that time, we could get her candy without actually getting in jail. Because when I Want Candy was out, I was under 18 too, just like her. So I'm good. All right? I don't know if you guys know this whole story about that. Bow Wow Wow, the song I Want Candy, big hit, right? and she had a front cover in that whole thing where she had like this shirt that didn't have bras and it didn't have sides. She's smoking hot, by the way. Smoking hot. Like, I would not go out probably with a woman normally with a mohawk because it probably won't look good. But there are these women that they've got these magical faces that can look good in any, like Halle Berry. Again, let me go back to my girl. Halle Berry would look good bald, short-haired, long hair. She can have a fro. She can have a mohawk. You come up with any kind of haircut. Halle Berry's going to be.
She's got that cutie face, man.
She's just going to be
facial features are
smoking hot. I mean, Demi Moore had that for a while before all the surgeries. Because even when she did that G.I. Jane thing, she still looked good bald. You know what I'm saying? So some women have that magic that they can look good with anything. So that's why it's a caveat that, okay, I would not go out normally with a woman that has a mohawk that looks like Wendy O. Williams. But if you look like the girl from Bow Wow Wow, then, what am I going to do? You a fool if you're not going out with that. You know what I'm saying?
I could see her on the beach. I could see her on the beach squatted over
and I
with
lost,
that wet T-shirt. Oh,
and
man.
by the way, I lost 99.9% of you when I said Wendy O. Williams. So you'll have to look it up. And the late Wendy O. Williams, rest in peace, crazy woman. I still remember her opening up for Kiss in West Palm Beach, and she got hit with the dildo. It was great. It was fantastic.
What year was this?
You don't remember? Weren't you there with us?
No, I was not.
Creatures of the Night?
No,
West Palm Beach?
No, bro.
Are you sure?
Yeah, man.
I could have sworn you went with us.
No, bro.
So we were there, Creatures of the Night, and the Plasmatics opened up. Wendy O. Williams was the lead singer. Yep. And so she comes out, and she's like a punk rocker, like punk metalish rocker, okay? It was like very few people had mixed punk and metal together. Wendy O. Williams basically was doing that. And Wendy O. Williams was like very, she dressed very sexy, okay? Wild and sexy. I mean, if you guys, you want to tweet, check out the pictures, go Google Wendy O. Williams.
She looks like she was ready to do like a S&M scene in a porno.
Yes, exactly. Yes, definitely. She's definitely the one that you have to fist fight while you're having sex with her. You know what I mean? Because that's good. Like, she probably wants to fist fight with you while you're having sex with her.
Yeah, she'd say, slap me, you're thinking her butt, and she's like, no, punch me in the face.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's just a crazy woman. Rest in peace. And so she comes out jamming, and in that first or second song, somebody heaves a dildo from the crowd, and it just hits her dead center. And she's like happy about it, and she just keeps jamming, and it was a scene. What can I tell you? Julius 305, thank you, sir, for a little love on the Super Chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I think the three nipple chick gets away with a little odor. You need to send this show to the league as an example of what happens to fandom during the bye weeks. There you go. Greetings, everybody. Finished working, ready to hang out with the Big O. Thank you, James. Thank you for hanging out with us. You want to see something? Check out Dale Bozzio's missing persons in her Hustler spread in the 70s. Really? I didn't know she did Hustler. Dale Bozzio did Hustler? Wow.
She put her ankles by her ears. I've got to see this.
Yeah, wow.
I've got to see this.
Dale Bozzio. Hey, there you go. That's one right there. Dale Bozzio was not a pretty woman. She was not a pretty woman. If you actually really look at her, super, 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 super sexy.
That tiny little skirt thing she'd wear,
like
bro.
Knockout sexy, bro.
Ooh.
Knockout sexy. Watch her in the US Festival. Okay? And she's that's one of those women right there. Dale Bosio was not like a gorgeous woman by any stretch. I'm sure if she took down her makeup or whatever, she probably would not look nearly as good. But when she was dressed up and the way she was, and she had a great body, smoking, dude. Dale Bosio was smoking, yet not beautiful. That was one of them. I'm glad you brought it up because she goes with what we were talking about before. That's it. So, anyway, Dolphins. You know that you guys, as Dolphin fans, you realize that you won 3 times this weekend without even playing? Yeah. That's the amazing part. Being a Dolphins fan, this weekend was elation. Why? Because you watched the Jets lose. They dropped to 0-7. The Bills beat them 18-10. You know, Adam Gase had another Maylocks moment. You and I know that. A step closer to getting fired. We're all hoping that he's hanging around in a couple weeks so Miami can kick his ass in Week 11 again. Would be really nice. So it was nice to see the Jets suffer. It was nice to see the Jets lose again. And then we see the New England Patriots. And they get smoked by the team that Miami smoked a couple of weeks ago in the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, an embarrassing 33-6 loss. Okay? I expected the Niners to win. I took the Niners on Friday, but I didn't think that it would be that bad of a victory for the Niners. I've told you for months now that the Patriots are going to struggle to be 500, and right now they're 2-4. So they're falling way behind here. They had to bench Cam Newton. My boy Jarrett Stidham came out, still threw an interception. 3 interceptions between the 2 quarterbacks. That was amazing. That was the second win. And what the third win was? The Houston Texans lost again. I'm telling you, this is such an awesome time right now and an awesome season because we get to root for our football team to win. I don't have to worry about you maniacs out there that always, no, we need to lose for draft position. I'm like, dude, if you know how to draft, don't worry about it. You'll find players all over. But I don't have to argue with some of you out there about losing on purpose for draft position. And yet, we have a team that is out there losing for us in the Houston Texans. And Miami owns the Houston Texans' first and second round picks. I mean, this is amazing, dude. It was a great weekend for a Dolphin on a bye week. It's fantastic. And then tonight we get to sit back and watch the Bears and the Rams, and we get to watch Miami's next opponent, which will then have to do it on a short week. They will have to prepare and travel to South Florida. Love it. This is fantastic. What a great weekend for Dolphins. I'm telling you, this is a great week for South Florida sports fans. Awesome stuff, man. Yes, sir?
Just keeping score, you're an hour and 3 minutes running amok here, bro.
That's crazy stuff, man. That's crazy. Canes, they end up beating Virginia. And I got to tell you something. What bothers me a lot about the win is that I'm watching mediocre. I'm watching average at best. I'm not watching great coaching. I'm not watching a team that's fundamentally sound. I'm not watching a team that I can really be proud of. Like, they beat Virginia 19-14, and I sat there and I had kind of like the bitter beer face, right? Remember that commercial with bitter beer face? Somebody would drink it, their face would get all. That's how I looked at the end of that game. Because they basically hung on after Virginia got that late touchdown. And Virginia is terrible. And yet, you beat them by 5 measly points. You couldn't dominate a team that was bad. And listen, it was nice to see Derek King actually hit some people downfield. It was really nice to see receivers actually make plays. But they were playing against a team that has the worst secondary in the ACC. Okay, so I'm glad that they had success. They had to against the worst secondary in the ACC, but it's and let me play the soundbite for you from Manny Diaz. Manny's talking about this victory, and let me explain why Manny Diaz is. I'm not going to even say that he's completely out of place with this, but there is a portion of it that will leave you scratching your head. But again, let me explain. Go ahead. Let's hear Manny Diaz after the win.
That's Miami, Virginia. I don't know how many years in a row. I guess 3 years in a row. It seems like it's really, really hard to score 20 points in this game. I was proud of the way that we played in the second half. You know, obviously we need to finish red zone drives better. Probably left a lot of points out there on the field, but we saw that, hey, red zone, like we were on the other end of that last week playing great red zone defense. It's all a part of it. You got to give Virginia credit. We know that they've got a prideful defensive football team. They're hard to run the ball against. But I thought the big point of the game was the plays of our wide receivers and Derek throwing the ball down the field. Obviously, they were challenged during the week inside the building, and they really responded. First 2 plays of the game, right down the field, and it just felt like Harley, Pope, Wiggins, all those guys made not just even good plays down the field. They made great plays down the field, which really spurred us on. Even the drive in the third quarter, you know, from backed up, we only got 3, but again, just another long drive in the second half that really kind of, in my mind, sort of turned the game in our favor. And, you know, it's just, I say it every week. I felt like maybe in the first half we forgot that it's hard to win. I felt like we maybe played a little bit like we thought it'd be easy. It never is, and that's okay. We know that there's some things we can correct that could create more separation on the scoreboard, but you have to expect that every week in the ACC it's going to be a battle. And I'm really, really proud of our guys for winning that battle.
And let me say something, Coach. It never looks easy because your teams are never fundamentally sound, my man. Your teams are never really dominant. Your teams are rarely ever really coached well. You know, you still have players getting, you know, they're still targeting every week. They're still making mistakes. It's head scratching. It really is. It's frustrating. And when I'm watching that game, I feel like it's a struggle to stay focused on that game entirely. You know what I mean? It's so odd. And that's why, to me, now, the coach has to say what he said, okay? You know what I mean? He has to say it because what's he going to say? Well, you know, we barely beat Virginia, and they're kind of a crappy team. It's not a good look for us because, hey, we should be in the Alabama, Clemson level, but yet I somehow can't get the program to get to that point. So we're going to struggle against the mediocre teams or average teams in the ACC or in college football. He's not going to say that. So he has to say that it's tough. He has to say that it's not going to be easy. He has to try to praise Virginia because he has to be a professional and he has to show some class as a coach. So most of those things that he's saying, he has to say them. Okay? But what I would say to all of this is it's a struggle because you're not very good as a coach, my brother. You haven't proven that you can recruit elite and make them play like it. I'm sorry, but that's that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to recruit elite players and then go out there and then make them into elite athletes and make your team elite. We're not seeing any of that so far. And I don't see any signs that they're headed in that direction. And again, it's UM games used to be an event. I don't feel like I'm watching an event anymore. I feel like I'm watching a team that's a notch above FIU. I feel like I'm watching an NC State. I'm not even going to Wake Forest, but I'm going to go NC State. I don't know. Let me go, Central Florida. There. Yeah, no, not the Central Florida that thought they won a title a couple years ago. I'm talking about the Central Florida I'm watching now. I'm not watching anything special. And that's what I'm watching with the University of Miami. I'm just watching a game. I told somebody on Twitter on Saturday night, these teams can't hang with the Jim Kelly Peach Bowl teams. Okay? The Jim Kelly, not the teams with swag. Forget about all that crap that we're trying to recapture. They're not even anywhere near that. The Jim Kelly teams that had not yet really accomplished anything big except most of you weren't around and you're too young.
How many touchdown
catches? You were an embryo or something. But when we made the Peach Bowl with Jim Kelly,
Eddie Brown,
it was like we had won the national title. Okay? And then when we go on to win the Peach Bowl, oh my God. We thought wow. Because we really never thought of national championships. We didn't really look at our program that way at that time. You don't have
eight wins. 8 wins were good.
Yeah, that's not an understanding now anymore because of everything they've accomplished. You now have set a standard that's way higher than that. But I'm telling you, we were ecstatic as Canes fans. Like, dude, we made the Peach Bowl, bro. It was great. We won. Wow, what a great year, all that kind. These teams can't hang with those teams. Not even close. It's not even a discussion, okay? Anybody that lived it knows what the hell I'm talking about.
We couldn't hang with Louisiana Tech last year in the bowl game.
It's embarrassing. And that's really what bothers me most is when I sit down and watch a game, it's almost like pulling teeth. It's like it reminds me of watching Loria-like baseball over the last couple of years. Yeah, there were some nice players, but I knew they weren't going anywhere. I knew they weren't going to keep any of them around, and it was just like one of those, like, I'm pulling teeth to watch this, and it almost it did get to a point to me where all I really wanted to watch were the Jose games, and I didn't really care about anything else, only because I wanted to watch Jose because he was such a freak. Who doesn't want to watch a great pitcher? I mean, it's really fun to watch great pitchers throw in any uniform. It's just fun. It's an art form. It's a talent. It's a gift from the good Lord that is just awesome. And that's the only reason I would watch a guy like that. But watching the there's nothing special about it, man.
Oh, you mentioned North Carolina State, Wake. Ironically enough, Virginia before us, those were the two teams.
Right.
North Carolina State beat them 38-21, and Wake Forest beat them 40-23.
Sure.
To compound it, the first week of the season, they got their only and first win.
Yeah.
They played Duke, and Duke scored 20 points on them in the loss.
Right. Big O, you might as well call yourself the big negative. We are leaps and bounds ahead of last year. College football is not the same as when Jim Kelly played. What is college football not being, brother? When you can actually understand what the hell we're talking about, then maybe you can chime in. But that's fine.
Manny's done great. His only problem is the day of the game.
Right.
Right? Because he addressed everything during the offseason. It's just day of game where he goes amok.
Right. There's nothing impressive about 5-1. They've beaten nothing. You know what I mean? That's why they even dropped a spot in the polls. It's terrible.
Not just us. Everybody in the ACC dropped.
It's guys like this guy just sent in that they can't handle the truth. This is the same crap I dealt with for 20 years with Dolphins. Dolphins were garbage, and yet they don't, it's, whatever.
The only team that's respected, dude, everybody, Notre Dame, even beating Pitt 48-3 or whatever, they dropped from 3 to 4. We dropped, and North Carolina, we all won and dropped a spot. The only team that maintained is Clemson.
Oh, yeah.
They're on a different level. They're the only one carrying the banner. Yeah. Everybody else has dropped the banner for the ACC.
The ACC is garbage. It's another crappy conference. Is what it's called. That's my nickname for it.
And that's absolutely accurate.
No, it is. It's just a terrible, terrible conference. All right, let's take a quick break here. Give me 2 minutes. Back with more right here on the Big O Show, live from VSS West Pines. Hey, it's Big O. For all of your family dental needs, please reach out to Moody's Dental. I've known Eric for a while, a big fan of our show. Call him at 305-821-0231. Whether it's you or your kids that need some dental help, whether it's implants, Invisaligns, they are the experts. Or if you're just looking to fill a cavity or clean your teeth, or maybe even get a crown, you are going to love the professionalism, the family-like atmosphere. And of course, when you talk about being clean, that's what it's all about in today's society. You are going to go to an extremely clean place. Go to moody'sdental.com, go to the website, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Moody's Dental. Tell them that Big O sent you, 305-821-0231, or go to moody'sdental.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to peer, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
Hey, it's Big O. For all of your CBD, THC, or hookah needs, you got to get on down to VSS West Pines at 12397 Pembroke Road. Yes, they have got legal THC. You've got to check it out. And they've got, of course, when it comes to CBD, flower, tinctures, edibles, for all kinds of reasons, whether it's pain, stress, anxiety, you name it. And don't forget, when you mention my name, you'll get 20% off. Tell the boys out there that I told you to get on down to VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road, and call them 954-613-3367. Legal THC, CBD, all of your hookah needs. You go to VSS West Pines.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with zero down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
All righty. Let's have some fun down the stretch here. Pat Riley talked on Friday, and it was a lot of it wasn't really like anything heavy that came out of it that was earth-shattering or big-time groundbreaking, but there were a couple of things that you wanted to hear from him and a couple of issues that you want to talk about. First of all is the future, the flexibility, because that's what a lot of people want to know is where the Heat stand with the flexibility and what they're going to do either this year, this offseason, this winter, or next offseason in the summer. Go ahead.
We're going to take our first question from Ira Winderman of the South Florida Sun Sentinel.
Hey, Pat, how are you? Good to see you. You'll tell us another time what you ordered on pay-per-view. But for now, when we spoke to you at the trading deadline, you were very clear that there was sort of a two-part plan. Make this team as strong as it could for now, but also respect salary cap space for 2021 and maybe a bigger move then. Then the world changed, and then you became an NBA finalist. Can you take us through your thinking in February about protecting 2 years out, and how might that have changed in the interim? Thank you.
I think you're right on about February when we made that transaction in sending out Dion and James and Justice for Jay and Andre and Solo. We always had in mind Mickey, Nick, myself and Andy, Adam, discussing flexibility, always having some flexibility unless you are locked in to what we were locked into when we had the big three. At that time, you're going for it, and you're not looking for much down the road other than you're trying to win championships and as much as you can. So we're not at that point. I think this year, with what happened with our team, it really doesn't change my thought process about, okay, let's go for it now again. I think we'll stay the course with our picks, stay the course with our young players. We have decisions to make, obviously, with player contracts and free agents, and really do a deep dive into this season, myself and Spo and Andy, about how good we really are, right now. I'm not going to say that we benefited more than anybody else because of who we are and what we do and how we go about doing it, and that helped us in the bubble. I do think our team was very disciplined in the bubble, very together. The chemistry was great. Spo and the staff, everybody up there that had to do things for 3 months, kept it together. But we went in there equal. Everybody went in there with the same conditions. Maybe we had a little bit more of an idea ourselves and how we talked about it and explained to the players what was going to happen than other teams, but we all went in there equal, and nobody had an advantage in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not going to say that the bubble helped us more than somebody else, and we're not as good as we think we should be because of the bubble, and not going on the road for playoff games like you normally would if you didn't have home court advantage. That's behind us. Last year was last year. This year coming up is this year, and flexibility with draft picks, free agency is coming next, Ira, and my thinking really hasn't changed. But when I say next thing, if there's a next thing that presents itself that can really take us to maybe another level talent-wise, then I'm open to it.
Right, our next question.
What I love about this is that you could tell Riley's kind of learned from, in a way, his it's not mistakes because you got 3 championships, dude. A lot of great teams. But Riley his franchise has never been all in like they are now in the youth movement, in development, and those kind of things. It was usually get these young pieces and move them for established veterans, which is a really smart way of building a team because you're not waiting and you're cutting corners and you're getting people that have been there and done it, and that helps a lot. But you could tell that he has now gotten a little, let's say, drunk on what's gone on with the youth movement. And he loves to see the Kendrick Nuns and the Bams and the Duncan Robinsons and the Tyler Heroes now and Okpala or whatever that they've got back there that they're trying to develop now. And we'll probably see KO sometime next year be a part of everything that's going on. And so to me, that's actually the cool part about this because and if you listen to the press conference, we're not going to go through the whole thing because it's 45 minutes. But Riley early on did a great job of pointing out all the people that have helped out, build this franchise, and how he, to himself, he's like, I take very little credit for this. And he pointed out from Simon to, Andy Ellisberg to Spo and everybody else that either is, finding players in the draft or in free agency or trade or developing people like Spo is or the cap management of Andy Ellisberg, all of that. But, Pat can say whatever he wants, but in the end, it's his organization that brought all those people together, so he's going to get that credit, and he deserves that credit. But what I love is that the way they've done things now, which is a little different than what they've done in the past, Riley is all on board now. And they've had so much success with this youth movement and finding players. It's freaking awesome. It really is. It's nice to see that the different philosophies, they've followed different philosophies in order to win a title. And hopefully now this youth movement to get to that title is another way that he can add to his legacy and also add to his greatness because he's willing to adjust. And so one of the running storylines coming out of this season is Bam Adebayo. And what happens with Bam's contract, right? So they address Bam's contract. Let's hear here, Bill, them talking about Bam and his deal.
Hi, Pat. Congratulations on the success here. I know you talked about wanting to take care of your own. I'm sure you value so much what Bam has done. But is there a temptation on your part to sit down with him and his agent this summer and say, look, if you just be willing to hold off on an extension for a year, obviously you're in our long-term plans, but doing so would give us more cap flexibility next summer. Is that a temptation for you to do with him this summer?
Well, it's not going to be this summer. It's going to be this winter.
Right, exactly.
Barry, we're already 5 months past summer, but I'm not going to approach it that way. And I really don't want to get into any kind of discussions at this point about it. I think all the hypotheticals out there about what people think, is going to happen, that's what they are. I mean, you all know our numbers. You know what the situation is. The free agents in 21 and 20 and 21. So when it comes to our players, we want to take care of them, and especially the ones that we really value. We value Bam Adebayo. I mean, he's an all-star, and he's young, and he's great, and we're going to do what is in his best interest. That's what I think we have to do, and that's our approach. So there hasn't been any real discussions with anybody about anything as the season just ended a couple of weeks ago. So I think you have to let people sort of catch their breath, think about things. The free agents have to think about things. They don't even have the numbers. Their agents don't have the numbers. And so, but we love Bam. He's a cornerstone to our franchise. And, it would be in our best interest to make sure we do the right thing with him.
All right. So what I love about all of this is, first of all, for Barry's question, it's not like Pat's going to answer, say, well, Barry, we're going to tell Bam and his agent that, hey, wink, wink, we'll take care of you next year, all that good stuff. They're not going to say any of that. They're not going to talk about that. He's not going to tell you. They don't even know what the cap numbers are this year. They're going to go down because of all the losses the league had this year, so that's going to kind of skew it. And if you could get back to a normal season next year, which I don't think early on it's going to be normal, if they're starting in January, I'm sorry, dude. We're in late October. There is no way that in 2 months we're out of this pandemic and arenas are going to be packed. I just don't see that. I think it's going to get worse now because it's gotten worse, and now we've got the winter months coming. But I can guarantee you this pretty much. I think Bam and his agent know that they're going to get the Supermax next offseason. So why go for a max deal this season when you could get more? And this is one of those few franchises that you can wink, wink, and trust, and they're going to take care of you. Beno Udrih, remember that? Beno Udrih had to agree to get cut or released or whatever, or he had to leave the team or whatever, so they can free up. I forgot what it was. It was only like a couple $100,000. But it allowed them some flexibility to make a move. And then there was a wink, wink. The following year, they brought Beno Udrih back, and they paid him $1 million. They paid him more than what he made the year before or something. This team has done this many, many times. They may not admit it. They're not going to tell you because obviously it's kind of illegal. But they're going to do it. And, Riley is going to look at the agent, shake hands, and say, we got you next year no matter what. Don't worry about it. Bam's our guy. And they can trust that. Because they're not the Sacramento Kings, and they're not the Chicago Bulls, and they're not Robert Sarver and the Suns, who that guy's a disaster. That's not the case here. If I mispronounce the guy from the Suns' name, I'm sorry, but whatever. But you know what I'm talking about. That's why I say that this is something that is already pretty much set in stone. And I would be shocked if Bam takes a deal right now. I think Bam will say, no, I'm going to put it off to next offseason because that will give them an opportunity to bring a superstar in, and I'll get my Supermax deal. Why not? And waiting a year or several months, because it's not even a year anymore, even if he suffers a knee injury, they can still pay him. You come back from those things. They'll repair it, and you'll be fine, and you move on. I think there'll be some kind of a wink-wink deal when it's all said and done. And Bam will be just fine, and so will the Heat. The question is, set yourself up for next offseason just in case you can get a Giannis Antetokounmpo to come here or some other disgruntled star. Now, there's been this controversy with what Riley said about this, and so he was asked about, have you thought about the loss of certain players, the injuries, and how that affected the outcome of this series?
Hey, Pat, I want to know how you took in the NBA Finals. Game 1, you lose 2 of your guys with Gordon and Bam getting banged up. What was going through your mind as these guys are trying to fight to get back on the court? They do get out there, and I guess, is there any second guessing in your own self that, well, what if we did have them for the entire thing?
Can't do that. You just can't, and it's happened to me in my career before at the moment of truth. In '83, we lost, Irvin Johnson, Bob McAdoo, Norm Nixon, the first 2 games of the finals against Philadelphia, and we got swept. In 1989, we lost Irvin Johnson and Byron Scott to strained hamstrings, and we got swept. You hope you can get there, through the regular season, through the playoffs, through all those medieval moments, draconian moments in the playoffs when bodies are starting to hit the floor. And, the want on the part of both teams to win, takes the physicality to another level. And mentally, you got to be ready for that too. So I hate to talk about it. It's an excuse. I would have liked to win without Gorn and Bam, at 100%. But we just didn't have enough. Jimmy, is Superman. The 2 games that he had were 2 of the best games ever that I've seen in the finals. The 2 triple doubles to get us there, playing 47, 48 minutes. So, yes, don't make me go back and do that, because, I'll think about it, all winter and lament, if only. And sometimes that's what you're dealt in the NBA Finals, and you got to try to find a way to overcome. If we had maybe more veterans or another player, we had a lot of young guys that all of a sudden really had to step up and do double time and double down on their games and their performances. And so it's not easy. But yes, I'd like to see what it would be like with everybody whole. But, we'll get that shot again. And I'm just so proud of what our guys did. And we didn't, I'll tell you another thing, the narrative about the end, the Lakers were great. They were a great team. And they have the greatest player in the game today, in LeBron and Anthony Davis, in a cast of real veteran players that knew what to do at those moments. So, they beat us fair and square. They were the best team, but there's always going to be that asterisk, that caveat. If we had Bam and Gorn was our leading scorer in the playoffs at 100%. Could have gone to the 7th game, or whatever. But thank you for reminding me to get the best. I appreciate that. But I'm not going to look back on it. I'm just going to look at all the positive things and get Goran healthy and Bam healthy and bring everybody back and try to add to the mix.
There you go. As he talks about that, and then everybody thought that not everybody, certain people started reporting like, Riley put an asterisk on the Lakers win, and he's meaning that it's on his team, that he wishes they had the chance. He said the Lakers was great. He said they had players around the 2 superstars that knew what they were doing. He said that they had the best player on the planet in LeBron and a great player also in Anthony Davis. So he gave all the credit to the Lakers, but it's a fact. We all want to know what would have happened if the Heat would have been completely healthy, if Bam never gets injured, if Goran never gets injured. That's all. It took them 6 games to eliminate the Miami Heat. without those guys being healthy. So it's the reality of where we're at, unfortunately. But it wasn't a shot at anybody. That's the part that pisses me off, and that's because people then just want to stir crap up and create some negativity in something that wasn't negative. He was being complimentary of the Lakers, but he's also being brutally honest. So Riley can't be honest. Fitzpatrick can't be honest that he's going to be supportive of Tua, but he's frustrated that he lost the job. And then some people are killing Fitzpatrick because he's being honest. We can't kill these people because they're being honest. It's what we want. Do you want Riley to tell you a bunch of fluff? Oh, no, everything's all right. It doesn't matter. We would have never won. No, man, he wants to know, just like I want to know. I wish my team would have been healthy. I love the fact that Riley's honest about it because his honesty is exactly how we all feel. I love that Fitzpatrick was honest because we all know Tua's the future, but he's entitled to feel disappointed when he really did not earn the loss of the job. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he was throwing interceptions left and right and lost games, and they say, oh, they had to bench you, dude. You sucked. We had to put in Tua. So I get his frustrations. I don't know why we get all crazy. We want honesty from people, and then when you get the honesty, you can't handle it. Like, you know, that guy that was on here, that 904 guy, that he's, oh, no, the Hurricanes are light years ahead of last year. The Hurricanes are mediocre like they were last year. I mean, you can act like whatever you want. You can make it up. If you don't want to handle the truth, that's fine. But I'm sorry. It is what it is. Not a good team. Nothing impressive. You know what I mean? But what are you going to do? It's sometimes you want there's so many times where people, they want the truth, but they're not prepared to hear it. Basically, that's what it is. They're not prepared to hear the reality of where their favorite team is at. And if you tell them something that is, you know, like I did with Dolphins for the last 20 years before Chris Greer took over, every time I would tell them they're headed in the wrong direction, dude, I pissed off many Dolphins because they couldn't handle the damn truth of the last 20 years. That's all it is. It's nothing more, nothing less. And right now, Riley was just being honest on Friday. Ryan Fitzpatrick was just being honest that he lost the job and he's disappointed. Isn't he entitled? Didn't you ever lose something that you didn't deserve and you were pissed off about it? I love it. I respect it. We rip people all the time if they give us some fluff crap. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. The other thing, we went 2-2 with our picks over the weekend. We told you to go Washington +1. They easily won 25-3, so we won that one. We went Bills -12. Unfortunately, they struggled to beat the Jets by only 8. But, hey, Jets still lost, which is a good thing. And for those of you that wanted the Jets to win, in a way, I don't. I want Miami to beat the Bills the next time they play them and then kind of take over that way if they can in the division. That would be nice. So we lost that one. We told you to take San Fran +2 because we told you New England's headed. I told you at the beginning, New England will struggle to even be 500. They're not going to be a good team this year. Watch the Dolphins beat them on the second go-around. Anyway, San Francisco undressed them 33-6. And then we took Seattle last night -3 in Arizona. Won 37-34. Russell Wilson, too many interceptions. So we end up going 2-2. We were 8-8 on the season. We're now 10-10 against the number. Tonight there is only one game on Monday Night Football. What kind of crap is that, Bill? How come they're not giving us an afternoon game, too, here on Monday night? The hell's going on? I've been spoiled with 2 games every Monday night.
So you want some more outbreaks of COVID? to force the issue. That's why we got those, bro.
It's all about me, bro. It's all about me, not about them. It's all about me. I want more football.
Are you listening, NFL?
That's right. So we got the Bears and the Rams. The Rams are favored by 6. The over and under is 44.5. The Bears are plus 215 on the money line. The Rams are minus 225 on the money line. I'm going to go Bears plus 6, dude. I think if the Bears don't win this game, they lose a really close game. But I would not be surprised. The money line, Bears plus 215, I see value there. I got to tell you, the Rams.
I'm not impressed. We talked about it. Their 4 wins are against the NFC least.
Yeah.
How is that impressive?
Yeah,
Sorry.
No, I'm with you.
Dude, they beat Dallas 20-17.
Yeah.
And one of the other ones they beat 17-9.
Yeah.
Come on. We've all seen what's going on in that whole division.
Yeah, definitely. Crazy stuff, man. So
you know what? The Bears need to win this game because really and truthfully, the Rams aren't that good. Okay,
right. And
if they're aspiring to be what the 5-1, all this crap, their record says, because you've heard me talk about it, they should have lost 3 of those games. They had no business winning them. They got to win this game tonight.
Yeah.
If they don't, then they are the aberration that I thought they were.
Well, I mean, Foles, I think, will at least take care of the ball. I don't think he's anything special, but and I don't even want a Super Bowl and everything, but, it's still, to me, it's
he's
Nick
a streaky
Foles.
guy.
Yeah,
he could go and win you 4 or 5 games in a row, but if he did that, the next 4 or 5 games you're going to lose because that's what he is. He's a 500 quarterback in his whole career as a starter in the NFL.
Yeah, crazy stuff, man. So yeah, I think I'm going to take Bears here plus 6, and I'm not telling you go money line, but man, I don't think it's a bad value. Bears plus 215 on the money line for tonight. I don't think the Rams at minus 255 is a good value in the money line. That I can tell you. But I really like the Bears plus 6 tonight. Let's see if that will put me over 500, which is a beautiful thing. Let's see. What else do we have left here? The Rams are very overrated, a Raging Dolphin Maniac says. Jean-Luc says, Tremolio, that would be a bigger haul than what Jimmy got for Herschel Walker. I don't know what he's talking about. Let's see. What else do we have here on the text line? It's been very, very active, the text line.
Pittsburgh's better than I thought because last week, I figured the Browns would beat them.
I didn't even think they would be this good.
I didn't see this.
I didn't think the Steelers would be this good.
And I got to give them props. They got a nice little core of receivers, man.
Yep.
Ben's slinging the ball. Connor, the guy can run the ball. They got a defense always. Pittsburgh's a nice little team, bro.
Julius is asking if you're wearing a Rams jersey now. Not yet. If the Rams win tonight, he'll have a Rams jersey on. Okay?
Bears guy. Bears.
So those are the picks this week. We're going to go Bears plus 6.
I hope they bail you out, bro.
I need it. I need to get on a roll and get over 500 and start building on it like we did in basketball, bro.
How'd your fantasy team come out this weekend, bro?
I you know what? I was losing. I made every wrong start in fantasy. Yes.
That's
so dude, Alexa, you probably beat me, right, in fantasy? I haven't even checked. I know you were beating me, but I made every bad decision in fantasy. Yeah, she's killing me. Call of Beauty is 104, and I've got 78 points, and I'm done. She still has David Montgomery tonight.
Oh, the running back, yeah.
Yeah, I started David Carr. He got 12 points. Drew Brees got 23 on the bench. I put in Chris Godwin. I put in Deebo Samuel. I took Calvin Ridley out, 10 to 19 points. I started Tanyan from Green Bay. He got 5.2. I pulled Jared Cook, who got 12.2. I pulled the running back, James Robinson. He got 26.7. So, it just...
I hate when you have a bunch of guys that are good, but nobody's more exclusive than the other. Because you're always... No, but the thing is,
my team is
A
terrible.
or B, it's the same. You know what I mean? And you're always going to pick wrong. You're never going to pick the right guy.
Well, you can pick right if you know what the hell you're doing, but obviously I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I just
I'm flipping a coin, bro.
I'm getting killed. I'm dropping to 1-6. By the way, Alexa's going to go to 6-1. Okay. Alexa's kicking ass.
The Prez knows what she's doing,
the Prez knows what she's doing. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I got a
Everything's
shot. I got a
for
shot
me.
tonight. I'm 14 points down. He's got Cup for Rams. I've got Robinson, Jimmy Graham, and the Bears defense. So I have a shot.
Okay.
A shot to go 5-2.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
More importantly, I want the Bears to win.
I'm just glad you don't have my team. Anyway, it just...
You should have left it on autopilot, bro. You picked your team, right?
Yeah. Odell Beckham, no, I picked my team. Odell Beckham has a torn ACL. He's out for the season. Okay. Cam Newton says he doesn't have COVID-19 brain fog. I think that is just absolutely hilarious. He is going to go through hell over there now in Boston. All this talk, oh, God, it was so hyped up.
Did you see the look on his face, man, when Belichick goes over and, says, hey,
you're gone.
Your day's done?
Yeah.
You know what? It reminded me of that look after the Super Bowl loss.
Right. When
he just, now he's going to pitch a fit.
Right. Yeah. He can't because he knows that he has to be on his best behavior this year or he will not get a shot next year at all. And at this point, he's struggling to even get a shot next year because he's not the guy you bring in to be a backup because he will not be Fitzpatrick. You know what I mean? Plus, I don't know if he's the guy you want mentoring your guys. But the way, if he's not the starter and balling, it's a different ball game for him as it is. All right, we got to wrap it up here at VSS West Pines. We thank all of you as always. We'll be back here on Wednesday, by the way, in 2 days. We'll be back here doing another show here at VSS West Pines. We had to make up for the one last week that we were supposed to be here, but a little laryngitis. I didn't want to put my throat through it. But this time we are healthy enough to do back-to-back shows today, so we're able to do it. We thank all of you out there, as always, for tuning in. We got to thank, of course, our super chatters, as always, Drew Boo and Mark, I think it was, that sent in.
Wow. Recent research has shown
super chat
makes no sense.
Yeah, you
Julius 305
sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super chat.
That was perfect.
So thank you to Mr. Mata. Thank you to Julius 305. Thank you to Drew Boo. Appreciate all of you out there. As always, thank you all for chiming in on the chat board. Remember to follow us at Onside Radio and also subscribe to our show at onsideradio.com, 11 to 1. It's called the Onside Zone. So look for Onside Zone, and you will find it, Onside Zone with the big O, at Onside Radio. Please subscribe to that every day from 11 to 1. We will see you tomorrow. All right? Y'all be good out there. Be safe. Much love.
Enjoy the game tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Go Rams, says Bill.
Not hard.